Hello. Welcome to a Final Fantasy XIV stream. No one's excited for this. Admittedly, even myself, I am not really excited for this event. You want to know why? Let's just already head on inside. Okay. So some context for this event is Little Ladies' Day and Hatching Tide are generally two different holidays completely. But because it feels like sometimes Final Fantasy XIV is run by a bit of a skeleton crew, this year they have combined it into one holiday. So we have two events combined for the reward of one. And before you grab your pitchforks, before you grab your torches, and the Final Fantasy XIV community as a whole decides that I need to be put in a guillotine and, you know, have tomatoes thrown at me and everything. I don't know, I'm not really okay with like stuff like this because I think it's bad for the game's health going forward. It should be a legitimate concern to see like stuff that we used to be getting, like 2 additional events meshed into one, and we're not even getting like the bare minimum of rewards this time. We're just getting a mount. There's no furniture, no music scrolls, none of the other easier stuff that they could honestly give us. And there's like plenty of furniture that they could give us for housing and like, you know, usually no one's excited about housing items for holidays anyways, but I mean, it's still like one of the most easiest things that they can give us. The mount we get, it's nothing special. It's a Gabu, and it's just kind of like the 3rd Gabu mount in the game now. It's been slightly reskinned and it has a little unique animation, but it's nothing to write home about. It just, you know, it has me concerned about the health of the game's future, you know? I've been an MMO player all my life. I've seen when MMOs start like taking a turn for the worst. When people start getting concerned about changes, or they start noticing there's less and less content coming out for MMOs. And, you know, sadly, Final Fantasy XIV has been going through that for a while, where it feels like every expansion, we're kind of getting less and less, and it's being watered down to, like, people that are happy with the bare minimum. Which, I can't blame people for being happy with the bare minimum, but like when you had a taste of things when things are really good, it's kind of hard to adapt. You know, I wish they would get more support for the game. I wish Square Enix would fund them more and give them the budgets that they need, because it feels like everything else Square Enix does isn't really that successful as of late. I don't know how well the Final Fantasy VII Part 2 remake is selling. It's hard to say. But another reason, I guess, why they combine both of these events into one this year is because they're working on the Final Fantasy XVI crossover event, which is going to give us a bunch of items. It's going to give us a mount, it's going to give us a minion, and I think it's going to give us a armor set too, all based on around Final Fantasy XVI, which is same director as Final Fantasy XIV, so his attention has been taken away from the game for quite a while to develop Final Fantasy XVI. And it kind of showed a bit in content, in my opinion, in Final Fantasy XIV, because you're stretching the man behind everything, like, across multiple platforms and everything. And, that sucks. He knows how to make a good world, but I don't know if it's, like, the Final Fantasy that people actually wanted, though. I don't know. I really want a Final Fantasy IX and a Final Fantasy X-like Final Fantasy game again. It seems like everything after that has just like not lived up to those standards that those games kind of like set for me. It's hard to be a Final Fantasy fan in like the modern age, I feel, because like you're not really getting a whole lot of what you want, maybe. Final Fantasy XIV is like the exception. I guess, because it's an MMO, so it doesn't really technically count. I don't know, maybe it does. It does have a good story, but the way that you play the game is very different from the rest of them, so it's always hard to count Final Fantasy XI and Final Fantasy XIV as honest Final Fantasy games and not just a live service game. If you catch my drift, if you know what I mean. So that is my thoughts on the matter. So obviously they sacrificed these 2 holidays and gave us a singular reward that honestly isn't that impressive, just so that they could buy some time to work on the upcoming expansion and also deliver us a non-seasonal event based on Final Fantasy XVI. And yeah, probably like more budget cuts and everything. I understand it's like the dead period, but like even then, just losing an additional holiday, it just gives us even less to do, which kind of sucks. It's still like we're waiting till summer for the next expansion to come out, so it's gonna be a while. It's gonna be a while. Anyways, hey Decodary. You arrived just in time for me to be bitching about how they folded 2 events into one. But yeah, it's gonna be a laid-back stream. It's just gonna be me reading quest text. It's not gonna be anything like too exciting. I don't have anything else after the event lined up, so it's gonna be a little bit of a short stream today. So, other than Final Fantasy XIV, yesterday I did a bunch of Katamari Damacy on stream, but sadly those aren't archived episodes, so I won't be putting them on the YouTube or anything. It was just a spur of the moment. I felt like playing Katamari Damacy lately, because I needed a little bit of cheering up. I needed some good feel game. I needed some good music. And it was also the 20th anniversary of Katamari Damacy. I don't blame you, really. It is disappointing. Yeah, it concerns me about the health of the future of the game. Which is like I always kind of scoff at the people that are like, oh, yeah, they're working their hardest, they're doing their best. It's like, no, we've seen them do way better than this. It's just, you know, the director all the resources have also been pulled into creating the Xbox version of Final Fantasy XIV, which they're finally launching and all that, and then they're also working on cross-region data center travel, which is gonna be a fucking disaster. I goddamn hope they do not. I hope they backpedal on this shit, because if they allow us foreigners into the Japanese data centers, the game is basically dead at that point. Japan will Japan will be so angry and upset that our pool of players will basically ruin all their etiquette, because I understand between Europe, between America, and between Japan, we all have very different ways of playing this game. Us Americans are basically bottom of the barrel when it comes to Final Fantasy players. We have no patience for anything. We consume content within 2 hours of it coming out, and then bitch and complain that there's nothing to do for the rest of the next 3 or 4 months until the next patch drops. Europe's are very good at rating and organizing things, basically, and Japan is from what I hear, they're very respectful of the content. They don't pull large pulls in dungeons. They do 1 pack at a time usually. At least, I don't know if this has changed or not, but they kind of take in the content and they don't rush it. And, you know, us foreigners, that's all we do. We rush and consume, and then we bitch and complain. And if we mix the data centers like that, then there's going to be a lot of angry players and very conflicting play styles and cultural etiquette that doesn't quite align. I got a lot of concerns about Final Fantasy XIV going forward. So Square Enix is generally known for making some pretty bad decisions. So let's at least hope for the best, I guess. Anyways, I've talked your ears off. It's a time we hop into the game, and I'll start reading quest dialogue for maybe an hour and a half. God, it's gonna be a boring stream. Okay. See you there. Here we are. My sleepy ass just waiting for me to start playing the goddamn game. Well, the crow decided to leave. Anyways. It's finally fucking hop into the game. Now watch, it's gonna be super bright and saturated here, and then like, it's gonna be nighttime, and it's raining. Yeah. God, I love G-pose not reflecting the real time of what's happening. Well. This is how I prefer it anyways. Everything's lit up though. We have the decorations for Easter. Never been the most popular decorations, but I'm still disappointed like we didn't get any. Like, anything else besides the Gabu? Seriously, 2 events rolled into one. It's like really like, that's all they could give us is like 1 item. Or are they gonna like combine Christmas and Halloween this year as well and give us 1 item? Jilly Aliapo is looking for someone to help make a dream come true. The Princess and the Eggs. And a lot of the rewards for some of these events last year were kind of lackluster too, if I remember correctly. Welcome, my friend. I take it the Hatching Tide decorations have caught your eye? Oh, Rickubus, is that really you? I had hoped I might see you again, but I did not dare assume. Nonetheless, it warms my heart that you are eager to revel in the Hatching Tide once more. This year, it was again a dream that sparked my imagination, a dream of Gabu, massive and marvelous, standing upon the stage where else but in Ul'dah, so many malms away. Wreathed in radiant flowers of pink, the darling Gabu held in her hands an egg decorated most lavishly. Let's see, another mount I'll never use. I like mount rewards. I think they're some of the more higher tier rewards, honestly, but like, it's a Gabu. It's like the most basic ass mount that everyone already has. It's like, it's not that exciting because it's a... It's a pink Gabu. It's kind of cute, but it's not something like you really want to use, honestly. It's like, Gabus are cute in a very ugly way. Not in like a cute way, you know? And there is but one time of year when the sandy brown of that city is accented by peach blossoms in full bloom. Yes, I speak of Little Lady's Day. The message of Mistress Aliapo's dream was clear. Combine the spirit of Hatching Tide and Little Lady's Day to create the most exciting day that the jewel of a city has seen. Naturally sought out those in charge of the event and brought our proposal before them. 'Tis a pleasure, as always, Rickubus. I see ours is not the only celebration which can boast of your selfish assistant. I mean, selfless assistant. I am being selfish. I want more rewards for these seasonal quests. God damn it. Mistress Aliapo's proposal is quite unprecedented, and so confident she in her vision that she had already secured the services of a performer and his Gabu companion before meeting with us. I regret to say, not all in Ul'dah share in her conviction. Many doubt the safety of such an act, which has brought our plans for Little Lady's Day to a standstill. The trepidation is not without cause, mind you. Some 15 years ago, a supposedly tame Gabu ran amok in the city streets, causing untold harm. I'm pretty sure that's like, what, a reference to 1.0? When the Seneschal informed us of these circumstances, I got to thinking, we could hold a Hatching Tide event here in Gridania with a Gabu as the main attraction. Not only would this lift the spirits of Gridania's people, but it would also prove those in Ul'dah that the Gabus pose no danger. Surely that would put any doubts to rest. In fact, the performers have already arrived. Nonoda and I were treated to a display of their show, and I must say, never have I seen a Gabu so pretty and sweet. Out of all the paths forward we could have taken, this seemed to be the only one which might please all parties. I came to Gridania at once so I could act as a witness for my peers in Ul'dah. Since you're here, might you accompany me to the show? Someone as well versed in this realm's beastkin as you may be singularly qualified to tell us just how docile this Gabu is. Well, I'd hate to see Miss Aliapo's dream shot. I expect quite a few eggs for my troubles. Give me the eggs. Eggs? Quite an unusual form of payment, but I believe Mistress Aliapo has plenty. Regardless, the look on your face says you agree to my proposal. Many thanks, and I look forward to what is sure to be a fascinating show. Well then, all is settled. The show of a lifetime awaits at Bent Branch Meadows. You had best not tarry. Agreed. Let us make our way there and speak with Aldemund, the performer in charge. Oh, I can hardly wait. So I'm actually glad I get to capture this at night, because it's like a lot more prettier at night. If you like these neon clown vomit colors everywhere, I know I do. Sometimes I get self-conscious that I have the CMYK theme, because it's like, yeah, it's a very bright color scheme, but everything else about me is generally very muted. Right. No. That one. We gotta go to Bent Branch Meadows. There it is. Whoops. Oh, didn't see you there. Can we help you? Is there anything sadder than like when it rains on Easter? I think I've had like 2 Easters in my life where I'm like, oh no, it's raining. I can't go collect Easter eggs when I was a kid, and I was like heartbroken. That just means you have Easter indoors, which isn't as fun. But then I think one year my parents were just like, you know what? Just fucking let them go out in the rain. They like... And yeah, there's like a rainy Easter day. It's like, whatever. It's just a little water. Greetings, I am the Royal Seneschal, in charge of making Little Ladies' Day the most memorable for all ladies of the realm. Mistress Aliapo has informed us that you have quite the show prepared for us. We've been waiting for you. You'll be hard-pressed to pick your jaw up off the floor after you see what my PD has in store for you. I've been watching over her ever since the day I found her wandering the wilderness, all by her lonesome. We spent ages looking for her family, but now I suppose we're all each other has. Petey, a lovely name to be sure, and those flowers, are they peach blossoms? I dare say she is the very picture of a Little Ladies' Day princess. Haha, I'm glad to hear that, and I know Petey is too. She thought of little else since the moment Miss Aliapo came to us with her peculiar request. There's nothing in this world we love more than hearing an audience cheer, and think this time we'll earn that and then some. We'll call this one Egg Surprise. Go on, Petey. Here's the mount action. That was astounding. Impressive, ain't it? and all it took was a few glamour prisms. Of course, that wasn't where the genius was required. It took us days and nights of racking our brains to figure out how to capture the spirit of 2 celebrations. In the end, though, I think we did about as good as a job as we could have been expected. Now, here comes the rub. The rube? Here comes the rube? The rub? I don't know. Ever since we arrived in Gridania, PD's been a little on edge. Hate to see her like this, but I think I figured out what's causing it. As you just saw, she's got no problem performing in front of an audience of 2, but when a whole gaggle of revelers showed up not too long ago, she just froze up. I see. She must not be used to such large crowds. Luckily, I managed to save the show by climbing atop her head. That set her mind at ease and helped her find her courage. But I ain't as young as I used to be, and my knees are already crying out in protest at the prospect of climbing her again. But you, on the other hand, I reckon you've got plenty of moms left in those adventurers' legs of yours. Might I trouble you to join our merry troop and support Petey during her star turn? All you have to do is climb atop her and head towards the crowds. Show them our act and tell the spectators to come to me for an egg of their own. Still plenty to go around. Gabus are generally pretty scary when they open their mouths because it's just like nothing but shark teeth. Trust me, Petey'll love having you aboard. Now's our chance to get these eggs into the hands of the eager Gridanians. She's too timid to wander off on her own, so if something else demands your attention, she'll make her way back to me. Now, get out there and give Gridania an egg surprise. Whoa. What did I just see? Ah, this must be that performing Gabu I heard so much about. Good show, good show. I think I'll get an egg of my own to remember this by. A curious lass. The camera is like so messed up because this mount is like so high. That was amazing. The rabbits were so adorable. And that crown of peach blossoms is so pretty. I wonder if they give them out with eggs. Let's go find out. I heard the Hatching Tide festivities could be held here this year, but I see nothing out of the ordinary. I always forget like you could click on these NPCs for extra dialogue because I'm always just in such a rush to just get the quest objectives done. Oh my stars, what manner of... Oh, you're promoting Hatching Tide? Yes, I knew that, of course. Splendid trick, that was truly. I never knew Gabus to be so adept at anything besides eating, but you've expanded my horizons. Mayhap I'll partake in the festivities this year, after all. Oh yeah, I can fly too. It doesn't even have like any special particle effects. It's just like they're really goofy. Man, the good work, Rickubus. Same goes for you, Petey. I could hardly pass around the eggs fast enough. It looks like Petey's managed to conquer her fears. Let's hope these ovations are enough to conquer the Senestals. I still don't know if I'm even pronouncing that correctly. The Royal Seneschal has reached a decision, Petey in pink. Although I've been but a bystander in affairs so far, what I've seen has been truly inspiring. Petey is possessed not only of a kind heart, but the soul of an entertainer as well. I would have her be the main attraction of our stage in Ul'dah. On behalf of the Little Ladies' Day Planning Committee, I invite you to our city as honored guests. You know, I'm not one to decline such an eager invitation. Consider it accepted. But first, I'd best tell Miss Aliapo that she'll be needing more eggs. Go on to Ul'dah. We'll find our way there before long. Wonderful. Then I shall depart at once and make the stage ready for your arrival. Ahem, you've helped tremendously already, but there's no denying that Petey has taken a shine to you. Might you watch over her in Ul'dah for a while, just until she becomes accustomed to the crowds? There's gonna be a crowd, alright. You know what server we're on? Events in Ul'dah, on Balmung. I always debate maybe jumping over to another more dead server. But here on Ul'dah in Balmung, you see a whole lot of sights. A whole lot of people with also main character syndrome. Ul'dah isn't like this on like any other server in the game, I'm pretty sure. This is like exclusively like a Balmung thing. Let me check something just real quick. Sorry if you hear my keyboard. Okay, I think we're okay. I think we're okay. Ah, you are arrived. You'll be glad to know that I've managed to win over the planning committee with my story of Petey's show. Ul'dah's gates will be cast wide for her arrival. If she is amenable to the idea, I would have her be the star attraction on this year's stage. But first order of the day is to spread the word. If we tell the citizens what we saw in Bent Branch Meadows, it is my hope they will welcome Petey with open arms. And if her show is a success, then we will have managed a celebration which spans from Gridania to Ul'dah, painting smiles upon the faces of all the realm's little ladies and egg fanatics alike. I shall stay here and drum up what interest I can. Rickubus, pray head to the steps of Thal, and do the same. Meet me at the stage afterwards, and together we can shower Petey with applause. The stage, I don't know if that stage is like usually a lot more bigger in the main area. I feel like it's been bigger previous years, but maybe I'm just like misremembering things. A Gabu performer? Aren't they dangerous? I suppose a friend of mine was raving about the show she saw in Gridania. If it's the very same, I suppose it's worth a look. So as per usual, it's not really much of an exciting quest. There's no fates to do, there's like no extra dungeons, it's just like running around talking to NPCs. A Gabu? Here in Ul'dah? That dredges up terrible memories of the rampage I witnessed as a child. How do you know that won't happen again? Have you seen this Gabu with your own eyes? Yes, and she's as gentle as a tame chocobo. Is that so? Well, I see no reason why you would lie to me. Very well, I shall go. Perhaps in this way I can conquer my fears. And then in the main central area. This is the alleyway where all the dark RP happens. No one role-playing in this back alley is ever up to anything good. pretty empty in here. Usually there's like a couple people in here. It's like a little bit more of a quiet place to hang out when you don't want to like be near all the chaos on the steps of Nald. I didn't know Gabus were capable of anything more than mindless eating. Are you sure this show isn't just watching a beast chomping on hay? The crowds of Gridania gave her a standing ovation. So what if it is? You still have a chance to see a Gabu up close. Well, when you put it that way, besides, it's not if I have aught else to do. Alright, look for me among the crowd. Alright, the great Gabu wall from 1.0. Yeah. There's like a cutscene from 1.0 too, where like there's a parade and there's a Gabu, and it escapes from the parade and starts going apeshit. And I think that's when your first duty as a warrior of light, or at least like an adventure, is you have to like slay the Gabu or something. I know these like dancer NPCs right here were a part of that cutscene, I think. What I also like about Little Ladies Day is they put all these little bird decorations around. They always just like hide little birds everywhere. They do a little bit of a environmental storytelling with birds. Oh my god, is that a Lobotomy Corp reference right there? Is that the Punishing Bird? I think that's the Punishing Bird. There he is again. There's the Punishing Bird. Want to see something crazy? Fans and PCs start like going... actually, it's actually kind of empty today. Well, come here on a fucking Friday night, Saturday night, like it's popping with people. Unless like people are just kind of like taking a break from the game right now. This is like actually very low volume people. But yeah, this is where all the ERP happens. Here's the sirens. But they're not doing their song this time. Which, to my understanding, is a Dragon's Quest song. And they also featured it in Nanashi no Game, which is a good horror game for the DS. That was Japan only, but got a translation through fans that I want to play on stream one day. My thanks, Rickubus. It seems word has spread even further than I had hoped. And while this is cause for celebration, Petey appears to be intimidated by their expectant gazes. Of course, you could just hop on her head, and she'd calm down just like that, but we can't lean on you forever. Why don't you rally her spirits with some encouraging words, Rickubus? Seems she's warmed to you, and I reckon she'd appreciate whatever you have to say. What do I have to say? / rally. Truth be told, this is her first time performing alone in front of so many people. I can see why her legs won't listen to her heart. Tough choice. Don't worry, Petey, I'm right here. Having someone there to help you with something, like, even if they're not, like, actually helping, but, like, they're just there, kind of really helps, like, ease you, at least, to know that there's some sort of comfort out there. I always mention this, like, when you're, like, working your shitty, like, job and all that, and, like, you see a friend or family or a relative or someone you know kind of, like, drop by, it kind of helps heal the soul for just a moment and remind you, like, yeah, there's a world beyond these shitty walls, and there's people out there that care about you and friends, and it's not all that bad. Keep going. You only got 4 more hours on the clock. Anyway. That did the trick. You've really got a talent for lifting the spirits of downtrodden, of the downtrodden, Rickubus. We are in your debt, truly. It's almost time. Lady Aliapo should have arrived by now, Rickubus. Pray join the bystanders and give Petey your heartiest cheer. There's our destination. And now for the final act. Bedecked in blooming flowers, this Gabu princess has prepared something unforgettable for all the little ladies out there. Wow. A whole 3 seconds of action. This is just how I envisioned it in my dream. And to think I ever believed Gabus were not but wild beasts. Oh, I simply adore her. If Hatchingtide is even half as thrilling as this show, I'd best catch the next airship to Gridania. Heh, all's well that ends well. Little ladies get a great show, and Hatchingtide gets more egg seekers. Their smiles are like so many flowers in full bloom. Petey will be the talk of Ul'dah for moons to come. That she will. That she will. I have to thank you, Miss Aliapo, for giving us both a chance to bring a little brightness to so many lives. Just one more thing left, and then we get our reward. Very short stream, as I said. Thank you, Petey, for bringing joy to the citizens of Ul'dah, especially its little ladies. That was better than I could have imagined. Hatchingtide and Little Ladies' Day both will be remembered as the highlight of the year. Couldn't have done it without your help, Rickubus. We'll both be looking back on this experience with fondness for the rest of our lives. Speaking of which, I've got to thinking, maybe it's time I leave this performance business behind me and let Petey spread her wings. I think she'd be more than happy by your side, if you'll have her. As for me, I have it in mind to find a place to settle down and rest these old bones. I'd hate to tie Petey down just when she's found her passion. If you bring her along on your adventures, she'll be able to deliver smiles to corners of the world I've only heard tales of. Are you sure you can manage without her? Can't deny I already feel the tendrils of loneliness tugging at my heart, but they'll lose their grip so long as I know Petey's with you. I look forward to hearing her exploits as I while the days away. Don't do this to yourself, man. Don't do this. Loneliness sucks. Don't do it. I don't mean to be rude, but I am required in Gridania. Nonada must know how perfectly my dream manifested. Heh. Give the lass our regards, eh? I'll stay here in Ul'dah until the festivities end, and who knows, maybe longer. And with that, allow me to thank you personally, Rickubus. No princess in all the realm could have asked for a more devoted seneschal. That includes Petey. Seeing you dote upon her so dutifully reminded me why I volunteered for this position in the first place. Although Petey's show has concluded, Little Lady's Day has not. Pray enjoy all that we have prepared. And don't be a stranger in Gridania either. Stupid egghead. I have those stupid egg hats. They're awful. They're so awful. They were really on something back then when they were designing a lot of the old seasonal gear, especially those stupid fucking egg hats. I wonder how much those even sell on the Mog station or the Final Fantasy XIV shop or whatever the fuck they call it now. It's gotta be like one of the least popular selling items that like literally no one buys unless they want to be a shit posting troll. A curved horn that when blown emits a flowery tone that brings Petey, the Gabu maiden, lumbering to your side. Alright, let's go to one of my favorite areas to always showcase. Just because this zone is always very nice, in my opinion. It's always got good weather. It's very green, blue sky. I just love open green fields. They're like my favorite things in MMOs and RPGs and everything. Reminds me of some of my favorite spots in other RPG games and everything. Oh yeah, I should turn on the mount music. Let's see, play music when mounted. It's like generic flight music. But it's not the Palace of the Dead music. Look at the wiggly arms. Ooh. Ooh. Be free. Be free, Petey. How does this work? I hate how the camera positions you on this mount, sadly. I can't like get a better shot of this, which is very unfortunate. Woo. Yeah, 2 events in one. It's this short and only has 1 reward. Really, let's hope the Final Fantasy XVI event is actually worth it and not more of the same like shortness, you know? So let's see, hailing from a place where the peach trees bloom, this winsome Gabu maiden was found and taken in by the traveling entertainer, Aldemund. After delighting the crowds on Little Lady's Day, she made the decision to join you on your adventures in order to spread more cheer. Then the hidden text is, place these peach blossoms in your hair and become as princesses. From Aldiatha? Is that how you pronounce the name? Yeah, we have a little thing that we do. Can I G-pose? It's not gonna let me G-pose? No! There we go. There we go. Here's a better showcase of what we do here. I try not to be too cynical. Yeah, that's much better. But it's hard to not be cynical. Like I said, my concerns with Final Fantasy XIV is just always that they're gonna keep giving us less and less, and you know, for a paid live service game that requires a monthly subscription, it's kind of like you need to kind of keep people hooked. But if everyone is kind of just fine with getting less and less and paying more and more, especially during economic times where a lot of people are like, you know, money is meaning less and less, you gotta like kind of give people a reason to stay subscribed to your game, you know? Especially at a fucking company like Square Enix, where they're very, very, money talks, basically. Like, Square Enix is just one of those companies that's, like, very expensive. They want to charge so much money for all their games. They inflate the budget so insanely huge. And then, like, when their games fail, like, it actually, like, destroys entire studios. And, like, people step down from their positions and everything. We saw the Marvel game flop. We saw Forspoken flop, and guess where like all the money for like Final Fantasy XIV's Shadowbringers expansion and Endwalker expansion went? Yep. I'm pretty sure like Shadowbringers like money that they got all went to funding Marvel's Avengers, and that failed. And then Endwalker's money went towards funding Forspoken, and that failed, and that killed a studio. And now you have like Final Fantasy VII Remake, which I'm sure a lot of the money that Final Fantasy XIV has also made probably went towards there. They've said this in news articles and interviews and stuff, that they kind of snowball their money around, so their previous project is where the funding kind of like goes towards the future projects and everything, which I am not really fond of that. I kind of feel like the money for Final Fantasy games should stay within Final Fantasy, and the same as like Dragon Quest, Dragon Warrior. They should, you know, a lot like. When is Square Enix gonna learn that no one wants a lot of this garbage that they're pushing out? They kind of just, you know, they want them to make the games that they used to make. And even Enix, as a company, used to make a lot of weird, crazy, experimental games that were, like, very... not well known, but, like, also, like... I really want to play some of them on the stream sometime. It's... I mean... Mischief Makers is a Enix game, and before the Squaresoft merger with Enix, basically Square Enix owns Mischief Makers, which is why we're never gonna see that game ever again. But if they do put that on the Nintendo Switch Online Plus, I will pay that extra $10 just so I can fucking stream that game. But it's like that game's like a pain in the ass to play with like non-Nintendo 64 controllers, because that game was made to be played with a Nintendo 64 controller. But yeah, man, what a crazy short stream this has been. I don't think I'm gonna raid and send you guys anywhere, because honestly, it's only been you, Deco. You're the only one that showed up for this stream. As far as I know, other people have probably lurked, but I don't think anyone out there really cares about Final Fantasy XIV right now. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for lurking. This is why I always get a little bit self-conscious about streaming Final Fantasy XIV and Splatoon. It's like, you know, they're not always the most popular streams. It's here, let's head out to the porch. Is this on record the shortest fucking stream I've probably ever done? Probably. Am I doing it for the sake of archiving seasonal events in Final Fantasy XIV? Yes. Okay. But yeah, sorry for the short stream. I hope it was an enjoyable experience. If you like to listen to my voice as I read things. What's the next seasonal event that we're probably gonna have? It's a tough game to stream. It's understandable. Yeah. One of my very first streams, like when I started VTubing and all that, was like an 8-hour, what was it, 6.1? 6.2, I think, is the patch where they, we went into the shadow world, basically. And, I think it was 6.2. Yeah. And that was like 8 hours of me like reading everything, and like, man, I really like killed my voice that day, and I realized like how like bad Final Fantasy XIV streams could go, because it's a hard game, like, to really, you know... That's why I like the seasonal events, is they're like little self-contained stories with very little continuity that is there between years. But you don't necessarily, like, they come and they go, they're very missable, they're never gonna air the same event twice, unless it's like a crossover event, you know? And so, when it comes to the story of Final Fantasy XIV, the overall story, like, people are gonna be so fucking lost. They're not gonna know, like, what the hell is even going on. They're not gonna want spoilers. Everyone's gonna be lost. People that want to play the game and experience the story themselves, they're not gonna watch Final Fantasy XIV. People who don't know the story, they're gonna be lost. They're not really gonna derive much enjoyment or know the weight of anything happening. There might be cool dungeons and fights, and those are the things I always want to, like, you know, share and stream, but I don't know where the interest is gonna lie. This is gonna be the first time that an expansion releases when I'm like, after I become a streamer. And so this is like, it's either gonna eat into my stream time this summer to just kind of like do what I need to do in Final Fantasy XIV, or I could make it a shared experience and just have the stream up, but like maybe not really have it be an engaging stream or something worth archiving. It's just like, it'll just, I don't know, maybe mute myself and play the game, and anyone that could stop by and wants to watch can watch, but I don't know. I'm still really honestly thinking what to do with Dawnbreaker. What was it called? I forget what that fucking expansion is called already. Like, that's a bad sign. I'm looking really forward to playing Pictomancer. A class where you're a magical painter is a really cool idea. I'm glad they brought something like that to Final Fantasy XIV. Dawn Trail? Okay. Yeah, Dawn Trail. Oh my god, I'm stupid. Hopefully it's a good expansion. I still think Shadowbringers is my favorite. Endwalker was okay. It had a lot of cool moments, but I liked how much of a stupid anime plot Shadowbringers was. I like that it was like its own self-contained story in a completely new world and all that. But yeah, next seasonal event is probably a summer event. But in between then, we will definitely have the Final Fantasy XVI event, probably right before the expansion launches, if I had to guess. They like doing that, like, when the dead period before, like, just to, like, get people to subscribe to the game for an extra month or two. It's a tactic that they generally employ when the subscription numbers are super low, as they would be right now, because there's no content. And everyone's waiting for the new expansion. They're gonna drop that Final Fantasy XVI event. People are gonna pay, like, what, $15, $17 to play, and then they're gonna drop it. Imagine paying to play Final Fantasy XIV. Yeah, you got the right idea, Pokey. You're just like, fuck it. Fuck it. Free account. Free account. Hello and welcome, and also goodbye, because you arrived just in time for the stream to end, because goddamn, this fucking event was so goddamn short. Oh, goddamn. It was... Oh, man. Anyway. But by the time everyone sees my, like, going live alert, they're, oh boy, Rick is streaming. They're gonna click on the stream and they're gonna see, like, oh, offline? Huh? What? A 1 hour stream? What a shitty streamer. What an awful VTuber. You can't do a stream that's longer than an hour? Come on. You're doing streaming wrong, Rickubus. Sometimes I always worry that. Sometimes I don't know. I like to keep things, like, a little more concise. I don't think there's anything else happening. Nah, there's like nearly nothing else. I kind of like want to work on art and prepare for some upcoming streams. So yeah, until next time, I got some work to do for the streams coming up this week, later this week and the weekend. It's cool. People go watch the VOD and stuff. Yeah, that's generally the idea when I stream stuff like this. It's available on YouTube. It's available on my Twitch channel. This is more of an archival effort of Final Fantasy events, rather than it being like a entertaining stream for everyone to watch, honestly. I've always regretted doing so many seasonal events and never recording them, and that's like kind of like something I really wanted to do when I picked up streaming finally was I want to stream the Final Fantasy holiday events, but it's like sadly at a point where the game is kind of like really dying down and they're cutting corners and it feels like cutting costs everywhere, and then the cool stuff that I wanted to stream isn't really quite there. You know, sometimes I kind of fluff up these events as like being like really cool and all that, but like it really does suck like when you get like a dud event like this, especially where it's 2 events for the reward of 1. At least the story was kind of cute with the Gabu, and then like it's not just, oh, here's a random pink Gabu, but like the Gabu from the quest is actually the mount that we get, so it's kind of like a little companion. But sadly also in lore it's just kind of like, if ignoring all the lore, it's just like a pink Gabu that you just don't care about, that you're never gonna use because no one likes using Gabu mounts, and like especially the ones with actions, those just exist to annoy people and all that. I hadn't read the event on my own, so that gave me the chance to know what it's even about. I just skipped everything for this one. Yeah, I don't like skipping the seasonal event text. I'm not that done with the game yet, where I'm just like, whatever, give me my reward. I don't care. I'm like, I just wanna, you know, I want to get my money's worth, kind of, I guess. I don't know. I'm probably not getting my money's worth of Final Fantasy 14 right now, but I have a house. I have a fucking medium house. I can't unsub from the game. God damn it, they got me by the balls. God. One day, maybe. One day. You still got some passion in you. That's good. Yeah, I got passion in me, but I'm like very cynical at the same time. Make no mistake. And yeah, I love this fucking song too. Upuna slaps. Upuna's a really like hidden gem of the Wii. Maybe one day we'll play it for you guys, but I'm not sure because me and streaming RPGs is just kind of that's gonna be a very, very rare occasion when I do stream RPGs, honestly. They gotta be short RPGs or they gotta be interesting RPGs, and I'm not sure if Upuna is gonna really make for a good stream game. But we will see. We will see. No promises as to when I'll play it or if I'll play it. Just know that it exists and that it's pretty cool. That's pretty damn cool. Anyways, yeah, you know what, I'll just send you guys over to Not Game Center CX today. I love Game Center CX. I love watching it like randomly. I don't know what episode they're on, but when you need a stream that's just like, Ima, yeah, short stream today. Hello, welcome. We've already finished the event. It is a very crapshoot of a stream today. I activated my alert notifications, so like when I see when you guys are going through ads and all that, and like now that's adjusting my brain because I'm like, oh shit, everyone just got sent to an ad, so now I should not like say anything interesting for like 30 seconds. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna send you guys over to Game Center CX. Enjoy whatever the chief is playing. Gotcha on. And thank you for watching. Thank you for lurking. If you're watching the VODs through YouTube and Twitch, thank you very much as well. I appreciate all the support. Until next time, oyasumi. Farewell. Have a good afternoon, have a good night. Do whatever you plan on doing. Get some work done. Stream yourself. I don't know. I'll be here doing some art, and I'll see you guys next time for something a little more interesting, you know? Bye-bye.